Somewhat, 24%. Only a little, 15%.
Not at all, 38%.
We got 45% in the top two boxes. That's better than we thought.
Do you feel he's physically able to perform his duties as president?
Probably not, and definitely not at 39%.
That number will go down as we educate the public to MS.
Yeah, with 25% saying they don't know?
What's the bottom line?
For an incumbent to have any chance at all at this point in the calendar, he needs 40%.
And if the election were held today?
41.
41% would re-elect him, 37 would elect a new person.
22% don't know.
He's in the ballgame.
All right, I'm going to set up some meetings for tomorrow. We'll have the final numbers for this set, and we'll figure out where to go from here. Thanks, everybody.
Josh. Yeah. Listen, I was talking to Toby earlier.
Hey, Ginger.
Hey.
Hey, and I was saying that actually he hasn't apologized.
What do you mean?
I looked over the transcript and he hasn't apologized.
Well, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
The release I wrote about the tobacco appropriation,
Yeah.
what would you think about my leaking it to the subcommittee?
I wouldn't do it.
I'm doing it.
Okay. So you don't think we're going to get hung with the apology?
I am.
Talk about the level of military force you're going to show Bazan?
It'll be what's called an Alpha Strike Formation flyover.
It's 5 F-18 fighters and an E-2 Hawkeye.
Steve.
The injured Marines, have the president spoken to their families or them yet?
The president's expressed his gratitude and concern to the Marines and their families.
Did they express any concern for the president's health?
No, the president's health isn't a matter of concern. The conversation was focused on the Marines and their contribution to our national security.
CJ?
Mark.
There are reports of Coast Guard cutters intercepting Haitians off the Florida Keys.
Yeah, they're being considered economic refugees and diverted to Guantanamo Bay.
CJ?
Carl?
Does this mean that the president can't afford to spend his own political capital right now by accepting mass numbers of refugees?
That's not a factor.
Do you think the president's political problems make it more or less likely that he will order an invasion?
Again, that's not a factor.
CJ, I'm sorry, Joe. CJ, would you say that the president's situation makes it harder for him to focus on the situation in Haiti?
To be honest with you, Carl, I think the president's relieved to be focusing on something that matters. Obviously, what I meant to say was...
Excuse me, did you just say he was relieved?
Obviously, what I...
Toby, I don't believe it. You saw it.
I was standing right there.
He's relieved he might have to send troops into battle. He's relieved he might have to put American lives at risk and kill Haitian civilians because it takes his mind off having lied to the electorate.
Just don't say anything for it. Just don't say anything for... Damn it!
Tobacco.
What about it?
Josh wants to send the release.
At the press release?
Yes, it's incendiary. Josh is feeling burned, and he's letting his emotions and, dare I say, ego drive what I think is a very delicate situation.
Holy hell.
Relieved? The president's relieved to be focusing on Haiti? I was there. Isn't this exactly what we said we had to be careful of?
What happened?
She was asked if the president's situation makes it harder for him to focus on Haiti.
There was a ramp up.
There was a ramp up, but she was asked...
What did she say?
She said the president's relieved to be focusing on something that matters.
Relieved?
We can argue that she just misspoke. She meant to say that the president realizes he's focusing on something that matters.
Or the president's reiterating that his focus is on something.
I don't like something that matters, like finding out the president lied doesn't matter.
She misspoke is all we needed. We go back, we say that she misspoke.
What if he has to invade? If he invades Haiti after what? It's gonna look like he ordered a military operation to cover up the...
She was tired. She said...
CJ doesn't misspeak.
She just did.
If she misspoke, then why didn't she clean it up in the briefing room? I mean, come to think of it, why didn't she clean it up in the briefing room?
She actually is tired, Leo. We all are.
Well, why don't we go with that, Sam? Let's go out and say we're all tired. The president's tired. Complications due to MS.
We haven't had much
You had a week. How much time do you need?
Some of us have had more time than others.